War has always played a major role in shaping the historical experiences of minorities. One of the minority groups who fought in World War I were African Americans. A question that arose in 1917 was whether African Americans would display patriotism to a country that failed to treat them as full and equal citizens. Nevertheless, the United States did not feel confident enough to take for granted African American involvement in the selected draft. Thus, African Americans were proclaimed to be as loyal to the United States as the needle to its pole, according to the Herald. With the war, a giant decrease in workers rose. This set the stage for what is known as the Great Migration, or when African Americans moved from the South to the North. In the North, they were welcomed with open hands from industrialists. Soon, African Americans were making decent wages and working together for peace. Unfortunately, this collaboration did not last long. When the war ended in 1918, white workers demanded for their jobs back. Several large race riots occurred, such as the one in Chicago on July 27, 1990, where 38 people were killed and over 500 injured. The involvement of African Americans in industries that helped the Allies win the war proves that America was in a total war, because the United States used all resources for skilled labor. For World War I, over 400,000 African Americans enlisted in the Army. Of that, only 20,000 served in combat regiments. The others, mostly served as hard laborers, constructing trenches or preparing transports. According to Neil Wynne, more than 100 African Americans were recognized for bravery by the French. The American authorities, on the other hand, told tales of cowardice and indecency. Just like African Americans, Latinos were also viewed in a negative way in America. Unfortunately, for all the sacrifices that both of these groups made, it seems that they were worse off after the war. The United States was engaged in a total war, though, because all available manpower was used.
One of the reasons that many African Americans joined World War I is because they thought that if they fought with the United States Army, they would become more integrated into U.S. society and be more accepted overall on the whole. During World War I, many African Americans served in segregated regiments because leaders in the Army felt that they would not be capable of serving in the regular regiments. Documentation illustrates that Latinos had an important role in World War I, even though they aren't given much credit. Latinos from both New Mexico and Texas served during World War I. Latino soldiers had to be trained quickly because the U.S. was not prepared for war and needed soldiers fast. Most of the Latinos receiving training were at Camp Cody, New Mexico. Some Latinos even received honors for their involvement in World War I. For many Latinos, World War I represented their first experience in mainstream United States society. This war was a key moment for Latinos because, as stated by Ronald Young, for the first time, the government and society in general sought active involvement from Latinos in national life. Latinos hoped their involvement in World War I would increase opportunities for them. Native Americans also had a key role in World War I. As stated by Melinda Lee Pash, few Americans of any color doubted the adaptedness of Indians as warriors. When the United States joined World War I in 1917, Native Americans became a key source of manpower. Overall, 17,000 Native Americans registered, and 6,500 draftees, along with 6,000 enlistees, fought in the U.S. military. Most of these Native Americans served in integrated units and were involved in most of the major battles on the Western Front. Native Americans usually had dangerous roles like snipers and scouts, which is one reason their death rate was 5% compared to 1% for the United States troops on the whole. Overall, the United States did fight a total war because it used all its minorities, including African Americans, Native Americans, and Latino Americans, to fight in the war and took the effort to put them through training, illustrating the United States' complete dedication to World War I.